Hello, students. Let us continue Chapter 14 Natural Resources. Today, we are going to discuss our next topic biogeochemical cycles. In biosphere, there is a constant interaction between the biotic and abiotic components. It creates the biosphere, a dynamic but a stable system. We have discussed already. Now, these interactions consisting of a transfer of matter along with that energy between the different components of biosphere such as land, atmosphere and living organisms. Thus, they all collectively create a biogeochemical cycles. Let us discuss some important cycles. The first cycle is water cycle. So students, water cycle we have already discussed in small classes. Actually, it is the cyclic flow of water in which it evaporates and falls on the land as rain and later on flows back into the sea via rivers. The rainfall is due to evaporation and condensation. Some of the rainwater that falls on the land seeps into the soil and becomes part of the underground reservoir, which is of fresh water. Some of these underground water finds its way to the surface through springs or in the form of wells and tube wells. Various life processes of animals and plants are dependent on the water. Large number of substances can dissolve in water as it flows. These soluble minerals and other nutrients are carried by rivers from the land to the sea where they are utilized by marine organisms. Next, nitrogen cycle. We know that percentage of nitrogen in our atmosphere is about 78%. But it cannot be used directly by most of the living organisms. It is an essential nutrient for all life forms. Actually, nitrogen is essential part of proteins, nucleic acids such as DNA and RNA. We have discussed already. Some vitamins, urea, alkaloids, etc. The nitrogen fixing bacteria convert atmospheric inert nitrogen into nitrites and nitrates. These are two forms. These bacteria may be free living or symbiotic with dicot plants, such as leguminous plants, in which they reside in root nodules. This topic we have learnt in small class already. Nitrogen molecule is converted to nitrates and nitrites by physical method. This is possible due to lightning, in which the high temperatures and pressures of the air convert free nitrogen into oxides of nitrogen. These oxides dissolve in water and form nitric and nitrous acids that come down on land along with the rain. Various life forms utilize this nitrogen. Plants convert nitrates and nitrites into amino acids, which are used to make proteins. Some other biochemical pathways are used to make the other complex compounds containing nitrogen. These proteins and other complex compounds, when consumed by animals, form animal proteins. Upon the death of animal or plant, other decomposing soil bacteria convert or the plant. Other decomposing soil bacteria convert various compounds of nitrogen back into nitrates and nitrites. A different type of bacteria converts the nitrates and nitrites into elemental nitrogen, the normal form of nitrogen. The nitrogen thus moves in a cyclic form from atmospheric elemental form into simple compounds in the soil and water, which later get converted to more complex molecules in the living beings and back again to the simple nitrogen molecule in the atmosphere. Hence, this is the simple structure of nitrogen. Next, the carbon cycle. Carbon is present on the earth in various forms like elemental form, atmospheric gaseous form, compounds, etc. For example, diamond, graphite, coal, all these are forms of carbon. Through photosynthesis, carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is converted into glucose in presence of sunlight and with the help of chlorophyll, C6H12O6. This is the formula, and we know that this is the food making process of plants. Glucose molecules are carbohydrates that provide energy for the synthesis of other biological important molecules. Now, by the process of respiration, the glucose is utilized to provide energy to living things. These glucose is converted back into carbon dioxide in aerobic and anaerobic processes of respiration. The released carbon dioxide once again goes back into the atmosphere. Next, by the process of combustion, again carbon dioxide is added to the atmosphere. Fuels are burned to provide energy in the processes of heating, cooking, transportation, even industrial purposes. Carbon dioxide is released. Now, in fact, the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is said to have doubled since the Industrial Revolution, when human beings started burning fossil fuels on a very large scale. This is the main problem for today. Students, I hope you understood all these cycles. Thank you.